Today, I sat in front of the computer all day and took maybe four trades. Realistically, uh, it's um, not feasible to pull maybe 2,000 or 5 grand as a beginner. I think out of the ES with something like a 50K top step or something, just because there's so much movement. So I under traded, but I'd rather under trade and make a little bit of money and slowly learn and watch the ladder even in the periphery than overtrade like I was doing before and go super ultra mega negative. 18, 19. I have a bunch of things I'm supposed to review. I'm not going to. I'm just going to do today. MMT, I show up. I stick a limit down at the 41.75 at the edge of the value area. I get in short. I think I remember this trade. It's because okay, the NQ lagged, first of all, and that was a good indicator. So NQ puked and ES kind of stagnated. That was good. I think it revisited 42 evens multiple times, which made me think the zone was weak. And then NQ just throws up. And so I trade the correlation and I scratched down at the node at 39.25. Yeah, LVN flip. I think that's the only trade pre-market. And then we have value distributing above 57.50. There are inside prints on the buyers and sellers. NQ bids it up again prematurely. Let me. Okay, so we're sitting under value, just building value there, which is good. Then we break out, come back down, and I take the trade and lose it. And we set back into the value area and sell off. But notice how we're building out the distribution. I think this breaks out anyways. So we're above. They just built out the distribution and then sold off. I was wrong. And they come back up and form value again. They're just defending 61, and 61 finally breaks. And then we take off. 837. I'm quite literally just watching the market in the periphery. I woke up this morning and felt sick. So I sat down because I had to. There's nothing else I could do. Right. And then I wrote down absorption at 837. So we're back at 58. I wrote down absorption, but I don't see it. There, 56.75. It was like a tiny bit of absorption. It's not even worth writing down. Absorption at VPOC at 934. I can see the contracts trade there. VPOC shifts. Big, big, big selling, huge, huge absorption. 67.25. Or down here somewhere. There, immediately it just explodes at 65 evens. Sell, 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 sell. no movement at all. Huge iceberg order, massive, massive execution. I don't know. There's not much I can glean from this. I'm just highlighting it because it's interesting. The Nasdaq looks like it's just balancing, and we absorb all the sellers and then rally up off of it, and the Nasdaq explodes. I think it drags ES with it. The ES facilitates an auction again, and the Nasdaq slows down. And the Nasdaq explodes and drags ES up again. And then finally the ES moves out of that node 67.75 to 67 even. And we're up by 71, 70s, whatever, absorption of epoch. HVN flip. Okay, 70 even. It's flickering back and forth, which is a momentum play. I think this was an NQ correlation. So it comes up. Whoa, there's an auction on the inside print, 17 and 12. We come down. There's an auction on the low side, and there's low liquidity, 770 even. Okay, then an auction, and then the flickering of the bid and ask back and forth is a momentum trade, and now the shifting of value, 51 and a 10, it's 70 even, and we came lower, and then the maker walked it up because there's no liquidity there on the inside prints. So the market maker wants it above 70. He bid in at 69.50, and then price jumps. We form a bit of an auction above, and I scratch for 4 ticks. Just from it doesn't mean the trade is wrong. It was just a pressure point sort of thing. I think it actually rallies. Yeah, it does. Hold it? I don't know. Who cares? And this one, HVM flip. I think I caught a huge trade here. 8775 flip. I'm just playing the edge of the value areas. I threw a limit in. Tape stopped, which is good. Forming a balance there. They run it by a scratch for 2-3 ticks, which is kind of early, but that's fine. I'm not practicing this MMT thing I wrote. I should have put a limit down at 88.50 or 88.75 and tried to catch the backside of the actual level rather than just bidding on top of it or sticking my limit on top of the actual level, because futures markets aren't accurate. There's no accuracy at all. People say there is. If you draw a line on a chart and it bounces off a line on the chart, that was luck. It's impossible to determine that type of accuracy because there is none. It doesn't exist. So I should have bid 80s even. They fill me, I try again. Maker sends it lower, then there's a bit of an auction, 86.75. Auction shifts higher. Tape runs out. Big buyer. 87 absorbed. Huge indicator that we're going to move lower. And then I scratch. The statement remains the same. It was a huge indicator that we're going to move lower. And good that I scratched because it rallied. And I'm watching the same level. I noticed that value between the maker and the active participant has shifted now because we're below. We're back into this level. 87, I'm trying. I don't know why I flipped long here. Yeah, I scratched it. 88. We're back up there. They spam tape again. Just filling out the distribution. A seller steps in. I scratch a buy limit, trying to play the level again. It peaks down on a seller, like a real seller, from 70, from 87.50 down to 87 even. So I get out. We see momentum trade, 88s. We're back at that level, same level again. Big sell off. Finally, seller steps in. Isn't a maker, it's a seller. Then the maker pulls down from 85. I move the stop loss or the target. I think I get out here. Yeah, I get out here because the tape stops. So I had the trade on for like 5 seconds. 11:04, I step away from my computer, meaning for like the entire 30, 40 minutes, I'm just sitting there with the ladder in front of my face. 158, and I think I just come back, end of session, and lose money. I'm being honest with you.